Hi again, guys. Here is the fifth part of lighting and rendering with Fusion 360. Today we dive a bit deeper into everything that has to do with texture, because Fusion 360 offers you up to a certain limit the possibility of create your own texture to give more bump to your material, make it more realistic. And we're going to run an example right now. I have designed this simple cube here on which I have applied the first material I found, which was fabric. Simple fabric, gray fabric. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go from this to this. I'm going to show you how to do it yourself by using very simple files that you can find online. So I'm going back to my fabric. For that you're going to need files that you will find in a website called textures.com or any other site that does textures. So I have downloaded a roughness texture, a normal map, which is a special TIFF file that contains different levels of color which are going to reflect light differently. There's a standard 8 or bump map, which is white and black, and there's the albedo. Albedo map is basically the color map. It's the picture of the material itself. So you will need those four type of maps, pictures, that you will download from texture.com or any other site. I will put a link in the comments below. So let's get back to our material here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to double click on my material and I'm going to click on Advanced. Once I'm there, it's using right now a fabric. So I'm going to come here and select color. And in color, I'm going to select something like, a really light gray. There we go. Then we have the relief pattern, the bump pattern. Right now it's using a fabric wire normal. So I'm going to click on the name of the file. I'm going to pick up my own normal map, which is the purple file you can see here. The normal map from the original material is a purple as well. So you can select open. And then once it's loaded, I can go back to it, edit the image. There are two things I need to do right away. I need to link the texture transforms, which means that every time I'm going to manipulate the texture or the material, it will link that normal map, so everything is going to look going together. I can here amp up the depth amount, which is the actual bump you're going to see on the image. So I'm going to bring it up to 1.5. It's a normal map. Okay. Apparently I cannot see that texture right now because most probably the scale is not correct. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to call it undulated steel material and click apply. Close it, go back to it, and there I'm going to play with the scale. And the scale is going to help me reach the point where I will be able to see my material. So I'm going to stop the canvas for the moment. I'm going to make it bigger, way bigger. There you go. We start to see the map itself. So the color is not correctly made, so I'm going to change that color. I'm going to make it 249, 227, 147, which is something like gold. I'm going to lower the roughness, so I have something that is shinier. And I'm going to augment the reflectance, which is the way it mirrors light. So already we start to see our material popping up and the way it refracts light over here and on the sides. So I'm going to move it up to 90. It's looking much better. As you can see, we start to see the lines showing the bump, the real bump. So what is the difference with the height map, like a regular black and white JPEG? Well, I'm going to show it to you right away. I'm going to edit that image. I'm going to click on the image name, go back here, pick up the height map, and I'm going to tell the software that I'm using a height map. So already we can see that it's not showing the bump properly. You see it's pretty flat and the light is refracted in a flat way. So I have prepared the same material doing exactly what I did right now, and it's already pre-made here. So I'm gonna load it up for you. There we go. So here it is. That's the material, and if we go deep into the material, I have my scale. I'm using here a roughness of 0.1. I have my normal map that I picked up from textures.com. So I'm going to have a look at that. So it's linked to the texture transforms. It's a normal map. I haven't modified anything else. Everything stays the same. I could rotate that material, and you can see it rotate. I'm going to leave it at 0. I can tile it or do no tile. You can do whatever you want with it. Done. And here, that's all I touched. I just added that relief pattern, that bump map, which is a normal map that I picked up from the internet, and I added that to an original stainless steel material. Okay, so I already did a render of this one. That's the first one. This one was made with black and white height map, what they call a bump map, which is a JPEG or PNG black and white that I showed you earlier. This one was done with the normal map. You can see the difference right away. It has nothing to do in a matter of detail and the way the light is refracted on your material. So this is a normal map, and this is a bump map. So all the difference is there. Let's go back to Fusion. In Fusion, you can also add what we call an Albedo map. So I'm coming back to my material. I'm going to Advanced. And here, instead of the color, I'm going to use an image. And that image is going to be my Albedo map, which is the color, the picture of the material that was taken originally. I open it, and there we go. Now, this seems a little bit shiny to me. So let me add up some roughness. It looks much better. Apply. So already you see the way the light is reflected on the material. I'm starting a canvas render. It's much better. And of course I've already rendered that material. I'll show it to you here. Here it is with a shiny map. And when I lower the shininess, which is augmenting the roughness, here is what I get, which is looks more real. Okay. Now we can also do other things. We can also use what we call a cutout map. If you look here in the material, in most materials, original materials, you have a cutout. And the cutout normally is an image. It's any black and white image. It's going to give you transparent for black and bumpy or your material for the white. Let me show you how it works here. I have one that is preset here. I'm going to apply it to it. So from here, nothing fancy. Let me render it for you. As you can see, the material is applied only to part of the image, and for that I have used the cutout map. The cutout map can be found here. I need to advance. Cutout. I can select an image. I'm gonna go pick up that image somewhere else on my computer. I have some black and white maps. You can use any black and white, remembering that black is going to be transparent and white is going to be color, or it's going to be material. I'm going to pick up this one, for example, open it, and there you go. Right away you can see only the white parts, and I can manipulate that as well. If I'm coming here and starting to rotate, it will rotate on the material. I can change its size. So you can do in the brightness, you can lower the brightness, and it will lower the way it is rendered. Less white, so the area is less defined. I'm going up, the area is better defined, so you have those transparent areas and the areas with the material. I'm going to put it back to 0. And this is how you do a cutout material, a material with some transparent parts in it. And cancel it. I'm going back to my original material. As you can see here, I'm going into advanced. I've used another map that I picked up from the internet. I use normal map here from the same source. I linked the texture transform. No rotation, no whatsoever, it's a normal map. Done. For the cutout from the same collection, I have used a black and white map, which is either an ambient occlusion or a bump map. You can very well use a bump map, but ambient occlusion maps are much better for that. I didn't touch anything else. Now what I could do is I could invert the way this is cut out, the way you have transparent areas. I could come back here on my texture. I'm gonna go to my original material folder, and here I already have inverted that file that I was just using, and I inverted that so the white becomes black. So I'm gonna use this one. I can invert the image again, put it back to white, or do it black. You can do it directly here inside the cutout. Invert the black and white for white and black, and vice versa. And do done, do apply, and there you go. So let me show you how it looks once it's rendered. So that's a final render of the material we just created before. That's a first render of cutout material. As you can see, imagine that all the gold areas are white in your black and white file, and all the transparent areas are the black areas of that same file. Just remember it. This is a better render of the same material. And the material inverted. I have inverted white for blacks and black for whites. And last but not least, this is the same material applied to an HDRI environment, the original lake from Fusion 360, on which I have properly set up the lights, the depth of field, and I haven't touched anything else, and render in high definition. So I hope you guys, it helps you understand better how to texture a material. If you have any question or comments, please do not hesitate do so below in the comment section. Have a nice day, and I truly hope that these small tutorials did help you in achieve better rendering, as it was just meant to help you guys achieve better results. Nothing fancy here. I'm not a professional, and I'm not endorsed by Autodesk in any way. Have a great day, and see you soon.